Cartoons, the animated frontier. These are the voyages of the Cellcast podcast. Its continuing mission to explore strange new cartoons, to seek out new animation styles and new creative storytelling methods, to boldly go where so few ever go again. Welcome to another episode of the Cellcast
Reactions.
Joining me today is a man who, well, it's his chance to do his dance at the Space Jam. Jacob.
Well, let's just get down with it, man. All right, why, thank you. Let me introduce our co-host, a man who just believes he can fly. Welcome, Drew.
That works until you trip over the hill and you fall down and you prove you can't fly.
That's true.
I'm a little too heavy.
Hey, if you're in a cartoon, you can fly.
I can bounce, maybe. But anyway, how are you doing, Jacob?
Man, to be honest, I am sipping on an Eat Your Red, which is a Young Living product, to kind of help you mentally, it's a mental boost.
Yeah.
Because I tried to take a nap and I failed miserably.
Ah.
But other than that, I'm doing great. Little lack of sleep, but I'm great.
Okay.
How about you?
I'm doing pretty well. It's been a relatively relaxing week since it's been an entire week since we recorded the Akira episode.
Yes.
So I'm relatively refreshed.
Okay.
So, yeah, we are about to go down to the movie theater, which that's a lovely phrase
yes,
to
that
say.
is.
I
that
just
is.
want to say.
Agreed.
To watch a certain movie that was a sequel to a movie we have reviewed, that we reviewed with your buddy Aaron Lowe of Bantercast. Space Jam: A New Legacy.
Yeah. What's up, Doc?
The reviews have not been kind.
No, they haven't.
And we are actually a little week behind because you were out of town last weekend. But thing is, this did technically beat Black Widow out of the #1 spot in the box office.
As I roll my eyes.
There's a part of me thinking there's no way that this is better than Black Widow.
I do to say,
because I've seen what Warner Brothers' other recent work is when they've tried to reinvigorate a classic franchise of theirs recently, namely Tom and Jerry.
yes.
I'll know how I felt about that one.
Yeah, I would kind of give the argument that we are working through a pandemic. And
That's true.
Box numbers have not been as kind as they used to be. So
Well, and along with that, Black Widow was available on Disney Plus Premium, and so that may have not helped its numbers any.
yeah, agreed.
And I have a feeling the theatrical numbers are just going to continue rising as that stuff comes available. So it could just be that Space Jam is only bigger because it came after.
Agreed.
And maybe people. So that's the thing. It's only $15 for the HBO Max to watch it there. But it's $9.99 plus $30 to watch Black Widow on Disney Plus.
That is
so
true.
it's still more expensive to do Black Widow, but I wonder if since more people have Disney Plus, I think than HBO Max, maybe that's why maybe more people did that for that movie and this for this theaters for this movie.
That could be.
I don't know. I really don't know. But we're not here to talk about why theaters did better for this movie instead of Black Widow. That's not why we're here. We're here to talk about what we are looking forward to, with any luck, for Space Jam: A New Legacy. So I'm going to admit here, I know nothing about LeBron James.
Okay.
I know he plays basketball. And that's about it.
Okay. Talk to our church's youth minister. You'll get in your phone.
Oh, I'm sure. But here's the thing. In the same way that he probably doesn't want to ask me anything about Star Trek, I don't want to ask him about basketball because I don't think either one of us want to be here all day.
All right. So I'm kind of in the same. I'd be like, I know a lot about basketball. I grew up watching basketball in the 90s with Michael Jordan. So I know a little bit about LeBron James. LeBron James is a pretty good player. Let's say that. He's a pretty good player. There's debate here and there if he's better. I don't think he is. But other than that.
I'll put it this way. I knew more about Michael Jordan in the 90s when first Space Jam movie came out than I currently know about LeBron James.
Okay.
Because Michael Jordan was a bit of a pop culture icon at the time. I mean, he was in how many commercials at the time? I mean, heck, they make a joke about it with Wayne Knight. Talking about, lace up your... pull up your Hanes, lace up your Nikes, or your Reeboks, not your Nikes.
Yeah.
Whatever the shoe was. And they make the whole kit and caboodle about going eating, grabbing a Big Mac or a Whopper on the way to the ballpark. You know the one
yes,
I'm talking about.
I'm fully
I don't
aware.
have it memorized.
Yeah, those are all commercials Michael Jordan was in at the time.
Yes, they made that joke. So that's how much more of an icon he is. I don't know if LeBron James has that much
star power.
That much clout at this time.
Okay.
Sorry, you were saying something and I interrupted.
Yeah, so with this, this obviously we haven't seen the film yet. So what I'm putting my expectations really low because there again, be like you're looking at Space Jam, which was is a phenomenon film to everybody whoever grew up watching it. Mm-hmm. So now you have this high expectation. So dropping it down below the deck in more aviation terms, just like, okay, let's just watch the film, try to be as open-minded and critical of the film as you can, but at the same time, let's not Space Jam was better. And
that will be a question we'll probably ask at the end of this episode.
Agreed.
Yeah, my expectations for this movie are low also because, for one thing, the original Space Jam is not like an objectively top-of-the-line movie. It is a popcorn muncher, and I don't think this is going to be even at that level. The few commercials and trailers I've seen for this, this could just be editing on their part, the comedy doesn't seem to have the same pop that even that had, much less the original Looney Tunes. I know from what I have heard, there are some wider references to the wider Warner Brothers film catalog throughout the film. Like, for instance, I have heard that Lola Bunny, when they go find her, she's hanging out with on Themyscira with the Amazons from Wonder Woman.
Interesting.
I have heard that. I don't know if that's true.
Yeah.
But I have heard that's the case, and I've heard there's a couple other things. This kind of feels like Ready Player One, but without having to pay the author of Ready Player One.
Yeah.
I kind of is basically from what I've heard, and I don't know if that's the case. I know the reason LeBron James is there is because he's trying to save his son that's been kidnapped by somebody, and that person escaped to the internet, I think. I don't know.
So you're basically saying he was kidnapped by War Machine?
No, what I'm saying is
Cheadle.
they stole the plot line from Hook.
That is true.
Is what it sounds like. I don't know. I will be able to tell you better after the fact. But
either way, it's like, am I expecting anything grand or big out of this film? No, because the few people I've talked to have given the movie kind of a meh. It's like, it's not as good as the original, obviously.
And
but
its Rotten Tomatoes is like at 37.
Yeah, it's not good. But there again, we're going to watch the movie, give it, an objective.
Form our own opinions.
Yeah, form our own opinions. Watch the film, come back, and let you know what we think of the film.
Yes. I mean, it can't be worse than Tom and Jerry, can it?
Who knows? Don't know.
We'll join us when we get back from the theater, and you'll find out. We are a part of Pop Americana, where you can enjoy other shows like Franchise Fatigue, Do you like movies? Of course you do. I bet you even like big movie franchises like Star Wars, the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and Indiana Jones. And obviously, since you listen to us, you must like listening to movie reviews. But what if I were to tell you there is a podcast that reviews film series one movie at a time? You'd like that? Well, then go check out the Franchise Fatigue podcast over on your favorite podcast catcher and listen to James and Gabe give an in-depth analysis and review on every movie in your favorite franchise. Alright, so we are back from the theater. I actually kind of enjoyed the movie.
Yeah.
Surprisingly enough. I mean, it is not, it's not going to win any Oscars.
Right.
So I hope you aren't thinking it's going to do that. It's not quite, I think, it's not the same movie as the first Space Jam. I'll say that.
No, it's two different animals.
Entirely different animals. I mean,
or in this case, tunes.
They do at least hint at stuff.
Yes.
And yeah, there's a couple of jokes. It's like, oh yeah, we're doing this cool thing, and no, we're not. But it's funny when it happens. Mm-hmm. I don't want to spoil anything just yet, but it was enjoyable. There was a lot of great jokes throughout the movie. Now, is it a movie for adults? No. You've got to be thinking. You got to get back to your inner 12-year-old, if we're being honest. And there were a couple things with the tunes themselves that kind of worked and kind of didn't. But for the most part, it was an enjoyable movie. I mean, it's not... I may not give it more than a 6 if I were doing a full review of it. But, I mean, I had a good time. It's not something I regret watching.
I personally really enjoyed this film. I feel like it was a lot of fun. You had, like, the comedy in this movie was gold. I would agree with you to disagree with you on the fact that, like adults can, like, it's like,
I'm not saying adults can't watch it.
No,
we're
yeah.
adults and we watched it.
Yeah, agreed. It's a Looney Tune movie. So yeah, be like, you're naturally gonna be like, it's gonna be zany, it's gonna be wonky, it's gonna be, weird. And it's got a great comedy. Sometimes it hits, sometimes it didn't. There's certain parts, definitely when we go to the real world or the digital world in some cases where it's a little flat.
And admittedly, the plot's what I said the plot was in the pre-show, if we're being honest. This is a lot like Hook. A lot like Hook.
It is a lot like Hook. I agree with you.
But that's not necessarily a bad thing.
No.
They do a lot of good stuff with it. I mean, you can kind of see... I mean, let's face it. If you know how this movie is going to end, if you've not gone and watched it, you already know how the movie's going to end. It telegraphs itself from about 100 miles away. But the fact of the matter is, even though you know how it's going to end, it's a fun journey.
Yeah, it's a fun little ride. It's got an emotional punch here and there that's like, okay, I was not expecting that. Mm-hmm. And be like, from our lead actor LeBron James, being a basketball megastar, or King James as they call him in this film, and he's called that in real life.
I was about to say, because I know nothing about LeBron James, so I didn't know if that was
King James.
If that was a actual
that's actually
term.
That's a term people call him sometimes, like King James. But like there's certain moments where it's just like, whoa, okay, I didn't expect that. I was like, okay, that was good. That was there's a lot of really nice little touches here in this film that is so nice. And then there's like, oh, okay, you can definitely tell our main actor who is not a professional actor, but
neither was Michael Jordan.
No, agreed. But that I will definitely come into that later on. But there are moments where LeBron James just shines in this movie, and it's not just on the court.
No, they really played into him, which for a movie like this you really should do.
Yeah,
because I mean, I know LeBron James is a good basketball player. Mm-hmm. But that doesn't mean you're a good actor. I mean, he even points out that this was getting into movies is not really what he needs to be doing. He needs to focus on basketball.
Exactly.
He even says that at the beginning of the movie.
Yes, he does.
So it's like, that's a bit meta, and then you realize, this movie is a bit meta.
Agreed.
But, so I keep interrupting you. I'm sorry.
No, you're good, man. I top of this segment, I really enjoyed the film. It's got some highs, it's got some lows, but it's an enjoyable film. Where I think the problem is people keep trying to compare it to its predecessor, and there again, be like, these are two different movies.
They're two different bases. I mean, I understand why you're comparing them, but this is, I mean, they only even barely reference the first movie.
Yes.
And only in like 3 spots. So they say, yeah, this sounds familiar.
Yeah.
But
where did that come from?
It's got its own jokes. It's got its own thing. I understand why you want to compare it to the first one. Compare it in the fact that, yeah, they are replaying kind of the same record, but with a different tone.
Yeah, a little different twist to it.
Yeah, it's a similar movie, but it's also a different movie. They are playing into modern tropes. There's definitely a end game influence in it.
Yes.
And one might say a Ready Player One influence.
Yeah, you might say that.
But don't let that discount what how the movie is, because the movie is still just a ton of fun.
Agreed.
And that, I think, is one of the things most people are not going to get. I mean, one of the themes, I can bring this up without spoiling anything, is how LeBron James keeps harping on having fundamentals, but his son is saying you need to have fun. That's the thing. This is a movie that, yeah, the acting is not spotless. The villain is thin as paper, if we're being honest. Which is no fault of the actor. It's just that's how this character is.
Yeah, John Cheadle does, he does
a good job.
He does a good job for a thin, very wafer thin character.
Yes.
You see his motivations coming a mile away.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll get into that more. Spoilers.
I'm just trying to say, if you're looking at the review scores and you're seeing that Rotten Tomato, that was it 37%, I think I saw on there.
That's what you said, yeah.
Just let that slide over you. It is still a fun trip, a fun journey. Just kind of like, I will never tell a person to turn their brain off.
Yeah.
Because I think that's actually impossible.
Right.
But just kind of sit back, relax, and enjoy the roller coaster ride, because that is what this is.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's one of those films that, like Drew said, it's just, there's gonna be a lot of negativity towards this film, but trust me, go watch it. Watch it on HBO Max, where it is now,
or go to your local movie theater if you can.
Yeah, go to your local movie theater if you have the capability of doing that. Just go and watch it. Be like, it's a very much a popcorn film. It's got some heart. It's got some laughs,
and you really should not try to take it seriously.
Exactly.
It's not intended to be. Much like the original Space Jam was not meant to be taken seriously.
Exactly.
But anyway, is that all we got before we spoil this stuff?
Yeah, let's jam.
All right. The following is a spoiler-filled reaction to Space Jam: A New Legacy. Listener discretion is advised. I say we're about to spoil this thing. Considering you can the only thing we're going to be spoiling is jokes when you get right down to it.
Pretty much.
Because 5 minutes into this film, you know the plot. I'd say going into this film, you for the most part know the plot, even if you have not seen a commercial or anything, because it's going to be about, LeBron James is a big basketball star, and he's going to have to find a way to play a basketball game on the side of the Looney Tunes and fight the obvious bad guy.
Yeah.
In this case, instead of it being a fat Danny DeVito cartoon, it's Don Cheadle playing a computer algorithm. Yeah. Literally named Ali G Rhythm. You know how this movie is going to end.
Yes, exactly.
Now, admittedly, there is a plot twist that, honestly, I say there's a plot twist. They stole a plot point from Wacko's Wish, of all things.
Really? Okay.
You didn't catch it?
Okay, remind me. It is a Warner movie, after all.
So, Wacko's Wish. I'm going to explain the scene in Wacko's Wish, because then when I say this, you'll know what scene I'm talking about.
Okay.
In Wacko's Wish, Dot gets, she's been sick the whole movie.
Yeah.
And she's got this big surgery. And they point out throughout the whole movie, Yakko does, that her acting lessons are getting worse. Because she's not very good at acting.
Right.
So, spoiler alert for that movie, Dot gets shot or somehow injured very badly.
That's right. Yeah.
And providing just enough time for and enough of a
yeah. Okay. Yeah.
What's the word?
Opportunity.
Distraction.
Distraction.
Enough of a distraction so Wacko can go and get the wish. And as soon as he gets the wish, she goes, "I feel better now."
Pretty much. I totally see where you're talking from.
And the surgery was just to put a beauty mark on her face. It was plastic surgery, which she calls a cutie mark.
Yeah. Yeah.
In this movie,
yeah,
Bugs Bunny sacrifices himself by doing the play that will cause him to be deleted so that LeBron James doesn't get deleted. And the last 5 seconds, like, oh yeah, Bugs Bunny's fine. Because he's a cartoon. He can survive anything. And they told us that at the beginning of the movie.
Exactly.
So it's like, okay, yeah.
And they set this up like...
And they set it up
early
in a good, almost in a similar way, but they actually took that from that's like, you actually are paying attention to your movies, including the ones most people won't remember seeing. And they do a lot of cool stuff with cameos in this.
Oh, yeah.
I think my favorite might be Granny as Trinity.
Oh, gosh, that... So to set it up, to set this scene up, it is absolutely hysterical.
Well, Super Duck's good too.
Super Duck is hysterical,
and who I'm calling Pig Luther.
Pig Luther, yeah, you're right, Pig Luther. So the set up the scene.
Or I guess he technically is more of a Jimmy Olsen character, but I don't care.
Yeah, so
he's a cameraman.
So setting up the scene, so LeBron James and Bugs, thank you, Bugs have to assemble the team, and LeBron is like, okay, we get all these big Warner Brother characters.
Right. And he's putting Superman on the list, Batman on the list, Iron Giant. There's a dig most people may not remember.
Mm-hmm.
Does he actually ask for King Kong?
No, he doesn't.
I guess
he mentions King Kong. King Kong's in the film.
Yeah, and King Kong is in the film, technically, but doesn't actually want to put King Kong on the list, but he wants Iron Giant. I guess it's two Supermen.
I guess.
Technically.
Yeah, but either way, it'd be like they have to Bugs wants to find his crew back, and so they have to go throughout the entire, what is it, Warnerverse?
Well, it's the Serververse. Is what they're calling it. It's Warner Brothers' Serververse.
Yeah. And
the thing is, it's not just like, oh, they're going to the modern stuff. No. The Metropolis they go to is the Superman the animated series.
Yes.
And Batman the animated series and Justice League. They went to the Bruce Timm universe. I didn't know this was going to happen.
Me either. I was shocked. I was like, oh my gosh. It was like, and Tim Daly, come on, say something.
And then they go to pick up Wile E. Coyote and Roadrunner, and they're in Mad Max Fury Road. And they are literally in Mad Max Fury Road.
It is hysterical.
And then you go to Casablanca.
Oh, gosh.
And the main actress in that says, "Play it again, Sam." And there's Yosemite Sam saying, I don't remember what he says, but it's like, oh, good night. And then it goes to The Matrix.
Oh, gosh.
Granny and Speedy Gonzalez. Oh, my word. And, they're in. And the thing is, when they show these characters in these universes, they look like they dress like they're in the universe. I mean, they're still their Looney Tunes selves, but I mean, Daffy and Porky are dressed as Super Duck in a full almost an accurate that style animation, that art style type Superman suit, and I swear that's the same thing Jimmy Olsen wore in that show. I don't remember.
Oh my god!
The Mad Max Fury Road. He is wearing. I can't explain what Wile E. Coyote is wearing, but he does that thing with the silver spray paint, and it's like, I forgot about this, and this is great.
Exactly.
And of course, that means you've got Granny wearing leather. I'm just going to say leather, because you know what the Matrix looks like.
Yes.
And then my favorite part. See, I hinted at having heard about this.
Yes.
In the thing. I did not know. I assumed they were going to Zack Snyderverse, Themyscira, Wonder Woman. Mm-hmm. That is where I assumed we were going. Mm-hmm. No. They did better. They went to DC Comics Wonder Woman. That's like, y'all didn't have to do this. I love you for it. You actually going with, the Wonder Woman area that's Lola Bunny is hanging out
in. Oh my gosh, I love that.
Is not an animated universe. It is not a live action universe. It's not even a Lego universe, even though Warner Brothers can't pull that anymore because they lost the license. It is an entirely different medium that they animated to help you remember, this is a comic book medium that we're in. It even looks like a comic book. You can even see the half dots.
Yes.
And there's a part where she runs out of and the frame is reversing behind her. And it's like, okay, this is great. Good night.
Oh, that was so perfect. That was just...
And that's not even where all the cameos stop. How were you paying attention to the audience during the basketball game at the end?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, I don't watch Game of Thrones. Mm-hmm. You know that.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Also, I forgot. Foghorn Leghorn.
Because we're riding in a dragon.
Dressed as the mother of dragons in Game of Thrones. Weird?
Denara? Yeah.
It's weird, yes.
Yes, it's so funny.
But I kind of worked with it. That's beside the point. So I don't watch Game of Thrones. I've never watched Game of Thrones. I kind of know I don't even know what's going on. I just know, there's I think they're called White Walkers that are kind of like frozen snowmen.
Yes.
One of them, at one point, is dressed... Well, they're hanging out with another snowman who is doing his best. Arnold Schwarzenegger as Mr. Freeze
from Batman.
When he's not in the suit, when he's in his dressing gown scene, the part where he's singing "I'm Mr. White Christmas."
Yes,
that scene.
My gosh, yes.
That guy's there dressed like that the whole time, going. And they're paired with all the White Walkers and going, okay, you thought about this. And then another one of my favorites, you do see a Danny DeVito character, but it's obviously can't be Danny DeVito.
Yeah.
Because his penguin is there, not 5 feet away from Burgess Meredith's penguin.
Yes.
And not 5 feet away from that, you've got an Adam West Batman, a Burt Ward Robin, and Michelle Pfeiffer Catwoman.
Oh my god.
All just standing next to each other. And then, the King Kong.
Yeah.
That is not Godzilla vs. Kong's King Kong.
No, it's not.
No, they modeled it. This is my favorite part. They modeled it after the 1930s King Kong.
That's right, they did.
That's what it looks like. You know what's funny about that? They didn't make the 1930s King Kong. They only now own the rights to because it used to be owned by Universal, and they lost distribution. They weren't doing anything with it anyway, but I don't care.
One of my favorites, because obviously, Back to the Future, the DeLorean showed up. What the heck? This is Universal. But everybody uses the DeLorean.
Who cares at this point? There was so many things. Dude, did you see they had Yogi Bear's Ark with the stupid, what is the Hanna-Barbera hippo?
Oh, you asked me that question.
I don't remember his name, but he's up there. There is a shot of Yakko, Wacko, and Dots sitting on Marvin the Martian's spaceship.
I didn't see that.
I was waiting for the camera to just go past Pinky and the Brain, and you hear the whole Jay Brain, what are we going to do tonight? And of course, at the end of the game. This would have been a perfect spot, perfect joke. End of the game, you go past it, and you got Pinky going, Jay Brain, what are we going to do tonight? The same thing we do every night, Pinky. Try to take over the world with basketball or something stupid like that. I would have paid money if Ali G Rhythm was Brain. I would have paid extra money. That would have been awesome. I work with the fact that it's not.
Oh my gosh.
That would have been the best not even inside joke. Everyone would have loved that. Everyone who knows anything about that era of cartoons would have loved that. But they had characters back there I hadn't seen in years.
Yeah.
Good night. There's characters in there I've only seen on Toonami.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry, I kind of geeked out there for a second.
Like Hanna-Barbera, Warner Brothers, the whole enchilada, they used everything they had.
The only things I did not see were Tom and Jerry.
Shocking.
And I'm sure I missed them somewhere because we had Scooby-Doo in the gang.
Yeah.
The whole gang.
Yeah, Mr. Van, the whole bit.
We had Jabberjaw, for crying out loud.
There was Jabberjaw. There was. And
I
had the Hogwarts Express.
I wouldn't
everybody.
be surprised if Grape Ape was back there somewhere.
I think I saw him at one point. This movie was so jam-packed full of characters that be funny.
And here's the thing. Yeah, I am starting to get to the point where I'm tired of the Ready Player One / Avengers Endgame. Let's throw everybody in here for the heck of it. Mm-hmm. Because at least with Avengers Endgame, all of that was earned.
Yes.
Ready Player One, that's just what the story was.
Yes.
But it wasn't the actual characters. This is like, no, we're just going to throw everybody together and we're going to have this really Matrix-y, boy, they're going to have this Matrix-y thing, but not be the Matrix. And it was just interesting.
Mm-hmm. Agreed.
I had fun with this movie.
Yeah, there was, I mean, like, you're it's one of those movies that, yeah, you see the flaws in the movie. You see like Don Cheadle. Don Cheadle is an amazing actor. Beyond belief.
And he is doing the very best he can with his character's writing.
Yes.
You got to realize, this movie is kind of written on the level of Spy Kids.
Mm.
And to some degree, I actually like that. But that means the villain is that two-dimensional.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, like, there's certain points in the beginning of the film where it's be like there again, you're dealing with LeBron James, who is not an actor, he's a basketball player. A very good basketball player, as far as I remember. Because there again, I don't follow basketball anymore.
Yeah.
I followed basketball when Michael Jordan was around. So, but either way, as far as I understand, LeBron James is an amazing basketball player. Now, granted, there's some people who are going to be like, I don't like LeBron James because he said this. It's like, who cares? Who cares what he said? I mean, like, yeah, he's an amazing guy. He has his opinion. Let him have his opinion.
People are human. Forgive them.
Yeah, exactly. But either way,
I don't know what he said, so.
He said a few things that
he shouldn't have said.
I wouldn't say shouldn't have said. It's just like people just take it the wrong way.
Anyway.
But either way, that's politics for you. Either way, yeah, be like, yeah, there's certain points where LeBron James, like, his performance is a little flat. And, like, you could tell he was having fun with this performance.
Oh, yeah.
And, like, there again, this movie is not to make you over. This is not a very robust, make you think, like, deep philosophy or religion or anything. It's just a popcorn fun movie, and you're gonna laugh your butt off and just have fun with the film. That's all you need to do with this film. And
sometimes that's all you have to do with a film is just have fun with it.
Yeah, don't take it too seriously. Mm-hmm. And I think there's a lot of people out there who are probably taking this way too seriously because there again, be like, everybody's got this high bar with Space Jam. And we've done a review over Space Jam. Go check that one out.
Yeah.
We did with Aaron Lowe.
We're in talks now to review this one.
Exactly, when this one comes out. When this comes out on physical media.
Yeah.
So, yeah, just like people, like we said in the beginning, be like, people are going to keep comparing, but so it's not as good.
And?
Yeah, be like, yeah, I enjoyed the snot out of this film. I'd be like, honestly, because I think they played more to LeBron James's natural ability.
Yeah.
That he came across better than Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan was kind of flat.
Yes, Michael Jordan was flat. And admittedly, I do think LeBron James was a little more three-dimensional. Of course, that could just be like, in many ways, Michael Jordan was acting like he was in commercial, like he does in commercials.
Exactly.
LeBron was just being himself and said, here's the situation, act like you would in the situation.
Yeah. They played more to his strengths.
Yeah.
And I know I'm probably getting a lot of flack for that, saying that anything that Michael Jordan is not as good or LeBron James is better. I'm saying just more acting-wise, people. So just that's what I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
My favorite joke, though, in this.
Oh, yeah.
Because I didn't catch what was happening until about a half second.
Yeah.
Before they revealed it's like, guys, I found Michael Jordan. You found His Highness? Yeah, we're gonna win this thing. And it's like, and it's doing the whole and doing the whole, coming in, and it ends up being and about half second, just a half second before they reveal Michael Jordan. I remember there's an actor named Michael Jordan.
Michael B. Jordan.
And it's like, that's not Michael Jordan. He says, no, that's the actor, Michael B. Jordan. That's funny.
That was so funny.
Because that's one of the things that always confused me when Michael B. Jordan was, just getting to be known.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, and Michael Jordan's in this film. That's not Michael Jordan. And besides that, he can't act. Why is he in Creed? No, it's Michael B. Jordan. Imagine the strange universe where Killmonger is played by Michael Jordan.
Oh my gosh.
What if? That's not going to happen, but
oh my gosh.
Stay tuned for that. That we are doing that.
Yeah.
We're doing What If. And
for TAS, so stay tuned for that.
Yes. Anyway,
oh my gosh.
Of course, we don't review these we don't give these a numerical score.
No.
But would you say it's better or worse than the original Space Jam?
Ooh, that's a loaded question right there. Because
I think there's different enough. I don't like to compare them.
Yeah.
But people are going to. So
people will compare them.
Gun to your head, which is better? Space Jam or Space Jam: A New Legacy?
New Legacy.
Okay.
Just my personal opinion. I found myself like there again. I loved Space Jam growing up. Mm-hmm. Loved it. Watching this, I think it's a different movie. It's got the same spirit, same essence, but it's more robust of a story, more robust of the everything because they could do more things with this film.
Yeah,
and I just enjoyed it. I found myself laughing my absolute big butt off about every second a tune popped up and said something. Mm-hmm. It was absolutely hilarious. I thoroughly enjoyed LeBron James' performance. There again, people are probably going to give me hate over that, but
yeah.
But hey, that's my opinion. I'm sticking to it. And if you don't like it, hey, let me know in the comments. We can talk about it.
Indeed.
But yeah, I think personally, Space Jam: A New Legacy is better than Space Jam. Mic drop.
Style point.
Word.
Anyway, are you gonna ask for my opinion on that?
Yes, I am. What is your opinion of?
You're going to disagree with me.
Okay.
I think the original Space Jam, I think, is the better movie.
Okay.
But I am talking like onion skin difference here between the two.
Yeah.
What I think I preferred about the original Space Jam is because the aliens were actually taking the skills of the.
I would agree with you on that.
That I think that part of the story is much better handled. It's not as glossed over. And I love all the scenes in that film of how the real world is reacting to all the strange stuff
that is
happening.
Funny. That is the fun, great part of that movie.
And this movie does not have that because most of the quote-unquote negative effects don't happen until the basketball game.
Yeah, agreed.
Except that, Michael Jordan and LeBron James's wife, who is played by the lead actress in Star Trek Discovery, I noticed that as soon as she showed up on screen. Mm-hmm. As soon as I saw her name in the credits, I go, oh, her. Michael Burnham. Yeah, this will be fun. I mean, they don't do as much in the quote-unquote real world in this movie.
I agree.
But I don't think they're except for, they're aware that Dominic and LeBron have disappeared and they are looking for them. And that happens for a quick minute. And then it's like...
Let's get into the digital world.
Yeah, and it's like they hang out there more than anything. And it just got better, I thought, when the real world... It affecting the real world just doesn't happen until you get to the basketball game itself. And then it's kind of a... Oh, by the way, here's the situation... 99% of the world. Mm-hmm. Boy, I'm really glad none of the people in that group were pilots who were slacking off, because from what I understand, commercial airline pilots leave it on autopilot for most of the flights.
Yeah, true.
Is my understanding.
Yeah, sure.
But so I'm glad none of them showed up there. And admittedly, I don't know who either of the two announcers were, other than I got the feeling one was an old school one and one was a modern one.
I honestly got to look these two people up.
Yeah, I think the younger one, the one with the gold glasses, I think he's an esports announcer actually.
Possibly,
but don't quote me on that.
Okay,
but it would make sense you'd have an old basketball coach and old basketball announcer the old school and the new and the esports announcer, because you're dealing with a basketball video game. There's two different worlds going on at that time. So I didn't get any of those jokes with them, other than, oh, we're in a video game world. Interesting. But anyway.
Yeah.
Do you have anything else to add on this before we cut out of here?
Yeah, I enjoyed it. I would highly recommend going and watching it. Don't look at because a lot of people are going to, there again, like we said before, people are going to compare it to the original.
Understandable why, but just don't.
Just don't. Be like, yeah.
We did it for fun.
Yeah, we did it for fun. I enjoyed it.
Enjoy the movie.
Yeah, go enjoy it. It's a lot of fun. Go watch it. Go watch where you can. And just be like, this is a fun film. I guarantee we'll review it when it comes a full review of it. And we already have plans for that. So, yeah, stay tuned for that. So, yeah, definitely highly recommend go watch this film and just have fun with it.
Yeah, indeed. So, until next time, this has been Drew.
This is Jacob.
And we'll catch you in the next frame.
That's all, folks.
Come, Jacob, we must prepare for next week.
Prepare for what, Drew?
The same thing we do every week, Jacob. Record a podcast!
Oh, boy!
So where can they find you, Jacob?
You can find me on Facebook at Jacob B. Heron, also on Facebook at Jacob's Daily Art Corner, where I try to draw each and every day. I don't get to it as often as I like, but join me there. Also, you can find me on Instagram at Jacob B. Heron, on Twitter at Jacob Heron, and Letterboxd at Jacob Heron. So where can they find you, Drew?
You can also follow me on Letterboxd at GGeorge759, Facebook as Drew Dodgen, my Facebook page where you can see pictures I've taken at Drew's Photo Bin. You can also follow me on Twitter at GGeorge759.
You can email us at thecellcastpodcast@gmail.com.
You can also follow us on Twitter at cast_cell.
You can follow us on Twitch at twitch.tv/thecellcastgaming.
You can also follow us on YouTube at Cellcast.
Listen to our podcast on Apple Podcasts,
Google Play Podcasts,
Stitcher,
Spotify,
and your favorite podcast directory.
You can also listen to us on the Movie of the Week podcast with Jim Heron, where we talk about live-action movies. And remember, Cell is a single L.